Hey guys, Boy601, and today I want to talk about a certain kind of tank in Battlefield 1, and that is going to be the Landship. Now, with the most recent patch, DICE felt that the Landship was being underused by the community, and to fix that, they made a couple of changes to it. First off, they boosted the health of the Landship up to match that of the heavy tanks, and the other big change for the Landship is now teammates are able to spawn within the Landship just like they've been able to for the heavy tank, making this pretty much an APC, which is great because it means you can always have a nice filled up tank and be able to roll onto objectives at any point. Now, with that most recent patch, I have been using one type of Landship specifically, and I want to go ahead and give a shout out to it and kind of do a little mini review and show you guys why this is pretty much the best Landship there is, and you should go out and spend, I think it's your 250 war bonds. It is not that expensive. You should go out and just buy this one, set this one to your default Landship class, because it's so much better than the other ones in most situations. So that Landship is going to be the squad support Landship. Now, this variant also got its own kind of buff in the most recent patch. The forward machine gun was changed out for a front-facing 20mm cannon, just like that on the light flanker tank, or kind of like what the airship machine guns are. They're super powerful. You can take out one or two enemies with each clip, and it reloads rather quickly, so it is a monster at knocking down those infantry. Now, if you're not familiar with the rest of the squad support Landship, let's go ahead and run through all of its features. This variant can fit 5 people. The driver gets that 20mm front-facing cannon with the option to switch over to a rear-facing machine gun. If you do switch over to this rear-facing machine gun, you cannot move, but it is super useful to take out enemies who think they're being clever and trying to sneak up on your backside. You can just kind of knock them out nice and quick, and it feels good to be like, ha! You thought you were outsmarting me. You thought I was one of those other Landships, but I am not one of those other Landships. I'm this Landship. I'm better than that. Now, if you press left on the D-pad while you're driving, you are going to perform a track repair. This will get you moving if your tracks get knocked out, in addition to healing you by 20%. Fun fact, that's the same amount of heals that a heavy tank gets from an emergency repair. So it kind of puts you guys on even footing right there, especially because 9 times out of 10 in a fight, they are going to knock out your tracks. So you're going to be able to use your track repair just because of how massive and how open the Landship's treads are and how susceptible they are to being hit. Now, right on the D-pad will perform its pretty much squad support role. It will drop crates of ammo and health that players can run over and regen, and it's super useful for when you have infantry on the side of your tank and kind of supporting them and taking care of them to make sure they're able to take care of you. As with all Landships, this variant has those 2 massive cannons on the left and right side. In addition, there are also seats on both the left and right side that have machine guns. So on your left and right side, you have machine guns that are pretty good at taking out infantry, and in addition to the massive cannons. All this means is that if you have a fully loaded Landship, you are going to be a beast in game modes like Operations. You can roll up on an objective and just completely decimate it. You have almost full 360 coverage as far as firing goes. You're kind of vulnerable to the rear, but if you don't have any enemies to your front, you as the driver can switch to the rear and take out any enemies coming from the rear. So you do have almost full 360 coverage coming out of this tank, which is really nice. It is definitely super competitive compared to that of the heavy tanks. Speaking of heavy tanks, as far as taking on other armor, this tank is pretty good. Arguably, it's probably better than the tank hunting variant. I'll put up a clip now where a heavy tank has a significant drop on me. Like, I think he gets 2 or 3 whole shots into me before I'm able to get any into him, and I am still able to take him out. And that's because what works in what the Landship competitive in close range anti-armor doings or ability in almost medium range is that autocannon of yours will deal 2 damage per hit. You got 15 in the magazine, so you're going to be doing 30 damage if you land all of those shots. Those side cannons, they're going to do somewhere between 20 and 23 damage. And what that means is after 2 salvos, if you're in the correct position where if the enemy heavy tank is dead ahead and both of your cannons are able to fire on it, in 2 salvos, you've completely knocked out a heavy tank. He doesn't have that option. He only has his primary tank cannon to take you out, whereas you are much more versatile and you have the auto cannon. Now, what also helps in these fights is if you're confident that you have a little bit of lead on him, you can go ahead and also take out any infantry that are bailing from the tank, or your splash damage as you hit the enemy tank. That's going to help take out anyone who is bailing from that tank. So you are a lot more effective at taking out people and things. Now, if you do have friends, which is definitely something that has to be said about a squad support Landship, is it's best played with friends, especially one that is willing to give up either their ammo or their explosives as a supportman to pick up a wrench, because then you get this very cool symbiotic relationship between the tank and the supports. You become super powerful because basically you have a Landship, you're able to take on pretty much any infantry threat and most armor threats on your own, and assaults are going to kind of whittle down your health, but a support can pretty much keep you in the fight. And if they get hurt by the splash damage of any of that explosives, or they get nicked by a couple of bullets, you just gotta poop out your health and your ammo, and that's gonna fix them right up. And they can keep you alive, you can keep them alive, and it's a beautiful little symbiotic relationship that you can get going. And it makes this tank really powerful. One other thing I do want to touch on again is the anti-infantry power of this Landship. Now, one thing you do have to compare it to is the heavy tank, because it does have the same amount of armor, so they're kind of tick for tack going at each other. And you have to remember, with the heavy tank, you only have 5 shots with your primary weapon, and then you have to disengage. You have to back off. You can't keep continuing to engage people, where the squad support Landship, you have infinite ammo, you just have to reload every 15 shots. You can just keep on pounding people down with it. So while it may have a longer time to kill, you're able to stay in the fight, and you're able to basically kick ass for a lot longer, just because you don't have to keep on driving in, firing your 5 shots, retreating to reload all those 5 shots, driving back in, doing the same thing. This, you're able to get in, fire away, continue the push. If there's friendlies with you, they're able to heal you up. It's a lot more of an aggressive tank, and I really like it, and that's why it's pretty much become my favorite tank to play in Battlefield 1. Now, I did want to say something earlier as far as other Landships go. The anti-tank Landship, the Tank Hunter Landship, I like I said, it's not that useful, and let me say, I think the only time that it does anything better than this one is if you're hunting down a behemoth, because the tank of air that you have sitting out the front of that Landship has a lot bigger range and a lot better range than you have. You're pretty much able to sit out back and take out and outrange any behemoth and whittle them down slowly over the course of a round, which, while it may not be the most effective way to take them down, it is definitely the most secure way, and most likely the most effective, just because it won't keep killing you. So yeah, guys, that's my little rant on the squad support Landship and the other Landships. Tell me what you think down below. Do you like this Landship? Do you prefer a different Landship? Or are you just like, Tommy, you're completely wrong. That heavy tank, that A7V, you know, the one that they only made like 3 or 4 of, or actually I think it was like 20, but still the one that they only made a couple of, yeah, that one's way better than this piece of, than the stupid Landship made by the Brits. If that's your opinion, let me know down below, guys. I hope you liked your video. If you did, hit that subscribe button for more videos like this. Also, go ahead and hit that like button, guys. My name is TommyBoy61. I hope you have a great rest of your day. See ya.